guys, welcome back to Debbie J's Crafting Corner. I'm Debbie, and if this is your first time visiting, I'm so happy to have you here. Each week I share some fun card making and paper crafting projects that I hope will inspire you to create something great. For today's card, I'm celebrating the new year with some fun foiling and the layered fireworks stencil from Trinity stamps. I've been wanting to play with some stencils for the last few weeks and finally remembered where I put them before the holidays. Perfect timing. I'm using one of the stencils in the Trinity Stamps Layered Fireworks Stencil set because I thought it would be perfect for New Year's. I'm adding some Deco foil transfer gel through one of the stencils for one of the fireworks displays. I'm just going to be using this one piece, so instead of putting transfer gel through the entire stencil, I'm going to move it a couple of times and get it positioned just the way I want it on this panel. Actually, I did several panels. I also think this would be a really nice idea for doing for any type of a celebration. Birthdays, graduation, congratulations, anything like that. So I basically am just moving the stencil, trying to be careful not to get any of that gel in any other areas on that panel, somewhat successfully, and then just adding some more transfer gel through the stencil to create another fireworks burst. I did manage to get a couple of little spots of the Deco gel on the center of the panel between the two fireworks bursts that I didn't want, so I tried cleaning that up. Now I'm going to wipe the edges of my stencil, hoping that it's going to clean it off enough so it doesn't do the same thing again. I have to admit I was struggling with this the entire time. I think what may work better, and I'll try it next time I try this technique, is having a bowl of warm water to rinse the stencil off in between every application. It is still going to be possible to get some of the Deco gel over that top and right hand side edge just because this fireworks burst is so close to the edge. This is just one of those things that you have to be very careful with, and maybe a smaller spatula would have helped too. I don't know, I'll have to try a couple of different things next time and see if I can prevent making a mess as much. Once I got those 3 stenciled images on there done, I just set this aside to dry. I actually let these panels sit overnight, although you don't really need to. The Deco foil gel goes on white and it dries clear. Once it's dry, you can go ahead and add your foil to it. Now I'm using some Deco foil that's in this rainbow color. I thought that would be really pretty on the first panel that I'm doing. I put the other ones to the side and I'll do them at a later time. I'm going ahead and just cutting down a piece of that Deco foil so it'll cover the entire front of my panel. Next, I'm using a dry brush just to brush off the front of that panel and the back of the foil. The reason for this is just to try to make sure that you don't have any spare dust that could cause any kind of imperfections in your foiling. So I'm going to go ahead and position that foil right over my image and put it into a parchment paper carrier sheet. Next, I'll go ahead and run that through my Crenova laminator. Now, this laminator is one that I got off of Amazon and it works great. I did do another video testing out a lot of the different features on it, and I'll leave you a link to it here. Anyway, it has a switch on there so you can do cold laminating and hot laminating, so I made sure that I had it on hot and that it had time to heat up. One of the neat features on this is it does have a light that tells you when it's ready, although you could let it sit longer and warm up for a longer period of time just to make sure that you get really good results. I let the rainbow panel cool down just a little bit while I was running the other ones through, and now I'm ready for the reveal. I absolutely love the way that this is looking. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now I do have a little bit of overfoiling in the areas where I had some transfer gel that I didn't want, and I'm going to just use a sand eraser to try to remove some of that. Now I did have limited results, but whenever you do have a I guess, a little oops on your panels, you can always use some type of embellishment over it, and no one's going to know that you ever made a mistake. I just love how all of these little panels turned out. I used different foils on each one of them, and they are just so fun. I'm going to have so much fun making some cards with those. So now I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I'm going to put this first one onto a card. So I've got a black card base, and that looks okay, but I decided that I wanted to use some red foil cardstock behind it instead. So I'm going to be cutting down that pretty panel and cutting off some of the foiling that I just did. I'm also trimming down the foil, the red foil cardstock matting layer as well. So the final measurements on the fireworks panel came to 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, and then the matting layer was 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm putting these on the front of a standard A2 size card base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. To adhere everything down, I'm using my dot liner adhesive. Next, I wanted to use a sentiment on here. Now, I don't have a Happy New Year sentiment, and I had trouble finding the dies that I wanted to use, so I went ahead and pulled out my thickers. Now, this is a set of thickers that I've had for a long time. It had a hard time coming off this sheet here, but it does work in the end. So I just pulled off all of the letters that I needed to spell out Happy New Year's. I lined up the letters on my Tim Holtz media mat using the media edge tool and some cheap masking tape from Dollar Tree to keep them that way while I added adhesive to the back. Now, we know that the adhesive on the back of stickers isn't always reliable, so I'm going to use my art glitter glue to adhere all of these letters in place. I just love all the contrast on this card. I think it looks just awesome. I did decide that I wanted a little bit more sparkle up in the sky, you know, kind of like extra fireworks or stars. So I'm using some some glitter Stickles. This is some art glitter glue. I think this is diamond as the color. This is part of a set that didn't have names on each of the bottles, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think any any Stickles glitter would turn out so nice here. That finishes up this card for today. I hope that this video inspires you to get busy and create something great. And I would love to see what you create. So come join my Facebook group, Crafting with Debbie, and show us your creations. I've left a link down in the description box below. Here are some other videos that you may be interested in. Thank you so much for dropping by. And remember, if I can make it, you can too.